Have you ever wondered what is the first step to get closer to God? Or how can I get closer to God? What if I told you that the secret key was humility and prayer? Wait, what is humility again? I got you. Humility is a virtue where we do not think very highly about ourselves. Say I was a very prideful person, and the attitude that I have is that I know better than you do. You tell me that today the weather will be around 90 degrees. And I look at you and make a face and tell you, actually, it's going to be 85. Stop over-exaggerating. So with this scenario, how could I practice humility? To begin with, I should drop the attitude and not make a face. It's just not nice. And I should kindly suggest, oh really? I heard that it was going to be 85 according to my mom. Instead of demanding that, no, you're wrong and I'm right. Small changes like attitude, body language, and tone can really go a long way. But what does the weather have to do with anything with humility? Thank you for keeping us on track. Sometimes we are overly prideful and we might show our pride through our body language, facial expressions, tone, or with our words. What happens when we are prideful or even stubborn is that we may become closed off to God. Examples of this might look like we do not want anyone to tell us what to do, we want to do our way, not anyone else's way, or to put it simply, people may portray my way or the highway attitude. People might not even bother taking in any advice from anyone. They never admit that they were wrong or that they made a mistake. Or simply through having a negative attitude or an angry attitude, they're showing that they're prideful or stubborn. And others may even show their pride by hiding things from people. But what does this have to do with my relationship with God? Thanks for asking. Actually, our pride or stubbornness has a lot to do with our relationship with God. Sometimes our pride could get the best of us. Our hearts harden, or we simply block Jesus from entering in our hearts. The only way Jesus will be able to enter in our hearts and make changes in our life is if we humble ourselves and come to the realization that we need God. That we can't get through our lives on our own. That what society is telling us that you go girl and you got this and go kill it out there are actually a bunch of ego lies. They're just spoon feeding us our ego. We need to humble ourselves and realize that we need Jesus' help. We need His mercy, His grace, His love, His word, His body and blood, and so much more to get through this life. We need it. We need to be honest with ourselves and realize that on our own, we make mistakes, take the wrong call, struggle, feel alone, feel incapable, feel uncomfortable, and so much more because Jesus is not in our lives. But only when we humble ourselves, open to Him, and be in constant dialogue with Him, then we will be able to get closer to Him. Then we will see our lives be transformed for the better. And if you don't believe this, then let me tell you that I am living proof of what I'm telling you. Until the day I found out that I was weak and undeserving of God, that was the moment when I truly started getting closer to God and having an intimate relationship with Him. And that's true even if I had been a Catholic all my life. It wasn't until I was vulnerable and found myself broken that I was able to finally move closer to God. That was when I finally opened my heart and soul to Him and invited Him in my life. But if that doesn't convince you either, then let's look at the word of Jesus. Matthew chapter 11 verses 28 through 30 reads, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light." The word of the Lord. So let's break this down a little bit and reflect on this verse in a more personal level. Ask yourself, have I ever felt weary? Or in other words, burned out, tired mentally, physically, or even both? Have you ever felt burdened? Perfect. You are the person that Jesus is looking for. Imagine this beautiful sunny day, and there's a green field, and Jesus is there with His arms open to you, welcoming you to go to Him. Imagine Jesus telling you, literally listen to His voice telling you, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." What are you waiting for? What is stopping you? Run towards God and be transformed by His love, goodness, light, and wonderful heart. I invite you to continue meditating on this topic and continue speaking to God. May this be only the start of your prayer or the continuation of your prayer. And tell God, "Speak to me, O Lord, for your servant is listening." If you like this teaching, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and write a comment down below. Thank you for supporting Missionaries of God's Love. God bless you.